Hi there. It's March 25th, Monday, and it's time for Proverbs 25. Let's jump over there, and we will get into it, shall we? Okay. It is a further wise saying of Solomon. Verse 1 says, these are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied. Okay? So, and some of these will be repeats, but they're always good to memorize anyway, so. Okay. It is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. Right. As the heavens for height and the depth for earth and the earth for depth, so the mind of kings is unsearchable. Weird, huh? Weird, huh? Okay. Take away the dross from silver, and the smith has material for a vessel. Yeah, well, I like that one. Okay. Now they use metal a lot in word pictures in here, all over the Bible, because when you melt silver in a furnace or in a crucible, all the impurities float to the top, all the slag and the dirt and the other metals that's not part of the silver. When the metal melts, the impurities float to the top, and then they scrape those up and throw those away, and you're left with pure silver. Okay, God does that to us, puts us through the fire to remove the impurities. So there you have it. Got hair back there. Okay, verse 5. Take away the wicked from the presence of the king, and his throne will be established in righteousness. Lots of wicked people around now, huh? 6. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence, or stand in the place of the great. For it is better to be told, come up here, than to be put in the lower in the presence of the prince. Okay, that's kind of a... If you go to some kind of a function or something, and you think you're all that, you usually get shot down. So it's better to stay in the back, find a seat in the back, and then let the whoever's holding the stuff say, hey, your seat's up here, and you get to walk forward in the presence of everybody. Or if you immediately go to the front, say, I belong up here, and he's going to go, I'm sorry, your seat's back there. And then you got to get up and walk back to the back in the presence of everybody. Okay, and that's just, it's embarrassing. So remember that. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court. For what will you do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame? Okay, this all goes together. Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and do not disclose another's secret, lest he who hears you bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end. Right? It's kind of interesting. We'll highlight that. Right. What if you're wrong? You've seen something, don't go run into court. What if you're wrong? And you get embarrassed, and you put to shame. Go to your neighbor privately. Do not disclose another's secret, lest he who hears you brings shame upon you, and your reputation is ruined, or ill repute have no end. Right? That's smart words. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. Pretty, huh? Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear. Wise reprover, you got that? Let people tell you what it is, and they don't know what they're talking about. All right. A wise reprover, usually an old person. If an old person comes up to you and says, can I give you some advice? Listen to him. Okay? They're probably talking to you from experience. Okay? Like the cold of snow in the time of harvest is a faithful messenger to those who send him. Right? He refreshes the spirit of his masters. Like clouds in wind without rain is a man who boasts of a gift he does not give. I like that one too. Right. Someone who pledges something and never gives it. 15. With patience a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone. Got that? And we've been talking about arguing lately, and how speaking softly is always more effective than yelling. When you yell, people shut down. When you speak softly, they tend to lean in because they want to hear what you're saying. 16, if you... We'll highlight that just because we talked about it, right? 16, if you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you be sated with it and vomit. Do not have it in excess or vomit it out. Right? Too much honey, it give you bellyache. Right? 17, let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest he come weary of you and hate you. Right? That's a good one. Don't wear out your welcome. Okay? Stay away. Just wave. How you doing? No one likes somebody who's a busybody, who's over there all the time, just pestering you. Pretty soon he just grows tired of you and hates you. Right? Yeah. 18, a man who bears false witness against his neighbor is like a war club or a sword or a sharp arrow. False witness. Don't lie. Okay. Just 19, trust in a faithless man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. Right. What's it say over here? Like a bad tooth and an unsteady foot is a confidence in a faithless man in time of trouble. Right. Faithless. You want to find times of trouble? You want to find men of faith, right? Somebody who can pray for you and lift you up. 20, he who sings songs to a heavy heart is like one who takes off a garment on a cold day, and like vinegar on a wound. Right. If somebody's hurting, I mean really hurting, a heavy heart, broken heart, somebody died or they lost somebody, singing songs to them is not gonna help. Okay, it only makes it worse. There you go. 21, if your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Most people know about that, because it's mentioned all over. And we just read yesterday how you are not supposed to celebrate when your enemies are defeated, lest God take his anger off of them and put it on you. Okay? You're supposed to love your enemies. Okay? Right here. If he's hungry, give him bread. If he's thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Yeah? 23, the north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue brings angry looks. Get that? 24, it is better to live in a corner of the housetop than in a house shared with a contentious woman. Contentious means argumentative. Okay? And that was, he directly copied this from another part of Proverbs, because he says this all over the place. Enough to make me wonder if Solomon had trouble with some of his wives, 25, like cold water to a thirsty soul is good news from a far country. Well, we could use that, huh? Those people over there decided to stop fighting and have peace. That would be good news from a far country. 26, like a muddied spring or a polluted fountain is a righteous man who gives way before the wicked. Right? Never give up. Somebody says never give up. They will not give way before the wicked. 27, it's not good to eat too much honey, so be sparing of complimentary words. Okay. Now it just said up here, like it's not going to let me highlight that. There you go. There's something up here about eating honey. It wasn't there. Yeah, if you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you be sated with it and vomit. Right? Too much honey makes you sick, right? Same thing down here. It's not good to eat too much honey. But it turns around, so be sparing with your complimentary words. Okay? It says over here something different. It's not good to eat too much honey, nor is it glory to search out one's own glory. So, over here it says don't shower people with too many compliments because you're going to sound stupid, okay? You're going to look like you're, I don't want to say it, but it makes you look foolish, okay? People do it trying to search out their own glory. I said so many nice things to this boy, he's going to really like me. No, it doesn't work that way, okay? And 28, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. All right. Like a city is broken into without walls is a man who has no control over his spirit, without self-control. Right, so there you have it. That's Proverbs 25. We highlighted some stuff in here we can go over. Take away the dross from silver, and the smith has material for a vessel. Right, we talked about silver, getting the impurities and scraping them away. How he does that with us. We highlighted 6 and 7. Do not put yourself forward in the king's presence or stand in the place of the great. For it is better to be told, come up here, than to be put lower in the presence of the prince or important people. Right? Always sit in the back until you're called forward. 8, 9, and 10 goes together. What your eyes have seen, do not hastily bring into court. For what will you do in the end when your neighbor puts you to shame? Argue your case with your neighbor himself, and do not disclose another secret, lest he who hears you bring shame upon you, and your ill repute have no end, or ruins your reputation. That's very, very hard to get back. Okay. And I like this. We'll just highlight the whole thing. Like a gold ring or an ornament of gold is a wise reprover to a listening ear. Find wise people. Usually old people are wise people. Okay? Because they've been around a few times. I highlighted 14. Like clouds and wind without rain is a man who boasts of a gift he does not give. Right. Right. No explanation needed there, but we know people like that, With patience, a ruler may be persuaded, and a soft tongue will break a bone. Right. Soft tongue, right? Speak quietly, don't yell. Don't yell. Highlighted 17. Let your foot seldom be in your neighbor's house, lest he become weary of you and hate you. Okay? You don't have to turn that around. It's pretty much, right there. Even your friends. We don't call them every day. We're going over to their house every day. Oh, you got any coffee? Just they're gonna grow tired of you. Wait till they call you, or send a little text. Hey, thinking of you. Have a nice day, and leave it at that. You'd be surprised. Then if they want, hey, come over for coffee. Okay, we highlighted 19. Trust in a faithless man in time of trouble is like a bad tooth or a foot that slips. As he said, faithless man. Okay? If you're in trouble, times of trouble, find somebody of faith. Find somebody that'll pray for you. Right? You always want to find people of faith. I highlighted 21 and 22. If your enemy is hungry, give him bread to eat. If he is thirsty, give him water to drink. For you will heap coals of fire on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Right. Right. Yeah. And I highlighted 27. It's not good to eat too much honey, so be sparing of complimentary words. Right. You say too many good things, and you just sound stupid. Okay, they can tell you're only doing that for yourself, like it says over here. To search out, nor is it glory to search out one's own glory. When you say too many, oh, you're so good in your shoes, so good, and you tie them right, and those are nice socks, and I like your pants, and that belt, really smart the way it goes with the socks, and you're so smart, and that shirt looks nice, and I like the way you tie your tie. And okay, you're doing that for yourself, it's just. And there's names for it, but I'm not going to say them. But yeah, don't do that. You could just say, looking sharp. And that's it. So, there you have it. That's Proverbs 25 for March 25th. So, have a good week. Don't work too hard. Keep an eye on the news. There's stuff happening, Not the mainstream media, not that news. Go on the internet. Go on Telegram. Check out, OAN or Newsmax or 1440, one of those honest news places. But yeah, keep on top of things. Pray for the leaders. Pray for people trying to do good things in the world. And always stay humble. See you later.